Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. You're watching In Deep on the Delta. This is the weekly Delta fishing report for the week of February 3rd. I'm going to start off this report by introducing you all to a new contributor, and that's going to be Alan Fong. Yeah, same Alan Fong that manages Fisherman's Warehouse out on Folsom Boulevard in Sacramento. The same Alan Fong that has been around for many years. He is a respected Delta, San Joaquin, Sacramento River angler. He is a multi-species angler. He fishes salmon, largemouth bass, stripers, sturgeon, crappie, anything that comes out of the Delta he knows about. He also fishes the Motherlode Lake. So Alan's going to be a great asset to the report, and I can't wait to start getting reports from Alan. And also because he's at the shop all the time, and he just gets tons and tons of reports from the guys coming in from the Sacramento area. So that's going to give me a little more reach out to the northern end of the Delta that I'll be able to relay to you guys. For those of you who don't know, Alan has a new YouTube channel. It's called Alan Fong Outdoors. If you haven't checked that out, you want to go to YouTube and check it out. I've checked out some of his videos. Really great videos, really informative. He's going to talk about multi-species. He's going to do a little bit of cooking on the show, and I think you'll really enjoy his channel. That's Alan Fong Outdoors. All right into the report. And I'll get off first thing by telling you the Delta has really stunk it up again this week. This is for about the last 4 or 5 weeks. It's been really tough. So let's get the Motherlode out of the way, and I'll just say that, any of the Motherlode lakes right now are fishing better than the Delta. Maloney's is still kicking out fish. Clear Lake has been hot for the last couple of weeks. It's still fishing well. But I think the pick of the week this week, especially for someone that wants to get out and maybe see some new water that's not Maloney's or Clear Lake, try Berryessa. Alan sent a report, and he has been out at Berryessa for quite a few times in the last couple of weeks. And he's been getting, from what he says, about 15 to 18 pound bags of bass. And I didn't even ask him. They're probably a mixture of spots, smallmouth and largemouth. But he's been spooning Berryessa and doing very well. Also catching a few crappie up there. So the pick of the week this week is go up to Berryessa, try some spooning, and have some fun getting some solid fish out of Berryessa. For the Delta report, oh boy. Don't know why it's been so tough, but it has been tough. I'm going to lump stripers, largemouth bass in the same report. I'm going to lump all of the reports that I've got through my channel, all of the reports that I've got at the dock, and all of the reports that I've got through all of the shops that I've been calling into one. And they all stink. The average fish catch has been probably from a skunk to about 2 fish. Stripers, same way. Not a lot of people going out. The pressure's been very light, but the people that are going out just aren't catching a lot of fish. Talked to one guy at the dock the other day. He had 3 days to fish. He'd been out all 3 days. I talked to him on the 3rd day. He had caught 4 fish in 3 days, 4 largemouth bass. Wow, that's not good. What did I do? And what I did was the same thing everyone else did, and all the reports almost coincided with each other. I started up north, fished up and down the McCollum, all the sloughs, down through White Slough, Disappointment to the channel. I don't want to say I didn't catch any fish, but I was averaging about 2 fish a day. And the only reason I was catching those is because I was stubborn. There was no pattern. I threw everything you could throw on the Delta, minus an A-rig or I didn't throw a lot of crankbaits, and I didn't throw any chatterbaits. Everything else I threw every kind of worm you could think of, every T-rig, weightless, drop shot, Ned, just weren't going on anything. Reaction, nothing. That was, I think that might have been last Friday. I did that run. Sunday I went out and I fished from Paradise Point down to Disappointment, up and down the channel, down south of the channel. I didn't go out to Frank's track. I got such smelly reports from down there. I didn't feel like taking the time and effort to go down there. Same thing. Just couldn't get fish to respond. Threw everything at them. And everyone that sent reports in were saying, we're throwing the kitchen sink and it's just not working. So I don't know why, what the deal is out there right now, but it has been tough. and it's probably not going to get any better this week. Let's talk about river conditions. Up north in the McCollum area, I was getting 6 to 8 feet of visibility. I got reports from down south that were closer to 2 feet visibility. Down south, the water is a little cooler. It's running about, I've got anywhere from 48, 49 to 50, 51. Up north, it's running from about 50 to 53 degrees. With this front that's moved in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we have had anywhere from 15 to 35 mile an hour winds. I'm sure that that wave chop is going to deteriorate the clarity of the water, so be aware of that. And also, our nights have been super cold. Mornings have been cold. I would not doubt that the water temperatures may drop. That's not going to be great for the fishing. We're going to have to give it a few days to rebound, and then we're going to reset, have to come out. On a good note, the weather after today, which is Wednesday, starting Thursday through the next 10 days or so, is supposed to be pretty nice. We're going to get some sunshine. Maybe this will stir it up. It'll kick a bite into gear. But right now, we're just going to have to wait and see. Thank you guys so much who have been sending me in the reports. I'm praying for you guys. I'm trying to send good karma out your way. I know you're going to start catching fish, so please continue the reports, and as soon as these reports start to change, we're going to get the information that you're going to need out to go out and start catching fish. All right, I said there were 3 guys I got reports from that did really well. We'll start off with my friend Jared, who's fishing out of a kayak, and he has been doing solid every evening. Not great, but in about a 2-hour time frame, 2.5 hours, he's leaving at his house at 4 o'clock, getting down to the river and fishing till dark. He's picking up 3 or 4 fish, maybe 5 or 6 fish, all solid fish. A lot of his fish are coming on white spinner baits, but the key to his success is he's only fishing that, after work from about 4:30 to 6:30, and he has had a high outgoing tide. As soon as that tide starts moving, almost corresponding with starting to get a little dark, that's when the fish have been biting for him. It's been about a 45-minute bite window, but in that time frame, he's doing really well. So that's one key to success if you're coming out here. I also got some information from my friend Brandon, who is out on the river 3 or 4 days a week, it sounds like to me. And he's been catching a few fish, but he really turned the corner this week. And from getting, 3, 4 fish a trip, he's getting 10 or 12 fish a trip. And what he did was he just went softer, took all the rattles out of it. Well, he didn't take them out. He started throwing things with no rattles in them, going smaller, and just gearing down and being much more subtle, and that's what really turned the trick for Brandon. So try that if you're going out. Make sure you're throwing something without rattles. If you're throwing a swim bait, plastic swim bait, make sure it's 3 or 4 inches, and don't put an underspin on it. Just very subtle and stealthy. That's Brandon's key to success. Last but not least, had a report from an angler coming in from Hook, Line, and Sinker, and all of their reports were just terrible, except for one guy. He happened to be out there Sunday, same day I was out. I was in his general area that he was fishing. I don't know exactly where he was fishing, but he was fishing jigs around flooded islands, and he just had a great day. Don't know why. Had to be in the right spot at the right time on the right day, and I guess that's a pattern if you can, it's a pattern that you can't duplicate many times, but that was his pattern. He just was in the right spot at the right time, and that can happen any time on the Delta, but he was there on the right day. So even as poor as the fishing is, you always have that, slugger's chance of coming out here and having a great day. Stripers, just not a lot of people out there fishing for them, and it has been just super tough for stripers. I'm getting about 1 striper every other trip, and again, just picking it up. Caught my last striper on a worm when I was drop shotting, but most of my stripers have been coming on jerk baits, but just super slow. With that, I told you I'd give you some kind of scary news. I talked to Fish and Game at the dock a couple of days ago. There were a couple of biologists, and I kind of got in a conversation with them, and they told me that they were starting to go out and check the delta and starting to put their pattern together for their spraying this summer. They did mention it's not set in stone, but I believe they're having a meeting this week that the word that they've been getting is that it's going to be a much more aggressive spray pattern this year. Some of you guys may notice that there's been a lot of hyacinth floating down the river. All that hyacinth is hyacinth that has naturally died off during the winter and has been floating down the river. We've seen a ton of that. Everybody. I talked to Jeff Sue, who he's out at Antioch. He's seeing the hyacinth. I'm seeing it all over the north and central. And they explained to me that the last couple of years they haven't done a lot of spraying because of COVID. They haven't got out and had the manpower or the days that they normally put in. So we have had a lot much more hyacinth, along with subsurface vegetation also. But we're visually seeing the effects of that. Hyacinth grew and grew and grew. They didn't spray it, and now we have had probably a month and a half to where we have consistent hyacinth moving down the delta. That's something that when we started talking, a light bulb went off in my head and kind of said, that's why we have all this hyacinth. It usually flushes out, the first couple rains, it dies off and it gets flushed out. But it's really been out there. It's gotten worse the last couple days in the areas that I have been in. Make sure if you're driving around that stuff that you're real careful, because it's hiding, not big logs, but just stuff in the water that you don't want to hit in your boat. So, don't think you can just, get up and 50 miles an hour run through that stuff. Be careful and make sure you're using your life vest and just be safe on the water. That's about it for the report. I would like to report that I have some large In Deep on the Delta shirts. I also got another shipment of extra large, and I still have double extra large. So for those of you who are asking for the large and the extra large, I have those shirts in now. You can hit me up on my Gmail at scooper9561032. Give me your information. You can either pay with Venmo or PayPal. We'll get all that set up and I'll send you a shirt. If you see me at the dock or you want to make a field meet somewhere around Stockton, I can run you out a shirt and we can save on the shipping. With that, I'm going to leave and just say I want to thank everyone who has been continually watching the program. I know it's a tough deal. It's kind of like watching Kings basketball. We just keep losing and losing and losing, but it's going to get better. And for those of you who've been out there fishing, sending me the reports, like I said, I'm praying for you. I know you're going to start catching fish, and I know when you do, you're going to send me pictures of those fish. As soon as the fishing gets better, I'm going to give you guys the skinny on it, and then everybody can get out and start having fun out here. Hopefully in the next couple weeks. It may be 2, 3, 4 weeks. It's going to depend on the weather. But thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you guys for sending in the program, your reports. And if you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Hit the like button. And I will see you guys at the next report. If I don't see you then, I'll see you on the water. Thank you again for watching. Bye-bye.